Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Tuesday. Happy first Tuesday in September. Happy basically the signal in all of the United States that summer has come to an end with the end of Labor Day. So I hope everybody had a safe Labor Day. I hope everybody had a fun knowing that as the sun starts to set earlier and earlier, that this is our lives now. We're getting ready to head into fall and winter. Holidays are coming up. It's starting to get darker faster. It's just all the everything that comes with the end of the summer, beginning of the fall holidays, all of the BER holidays coming up. My daughter's birthday is in like 2 weeks. I cannot believe I will have a 3-year-old. And after that is Halloween, and then it is my baby. It is her first birthday. She was born a week before me, and then obviously with that just statement, then it's my birthday. Usually around that time is Thanksgiving. My birthday is usually the day before, the day of, or the day after Thanksgiving. That's how it has fallen the last 32 years of my life. And then after that, we have 25 days of Christmas. And then we've got my fiance's birthday. And then we have Christmas. And then we have New Year's. So that is all just like one holiday after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. So really excited for this time of year for everything except for the fact that the sun goes down at like, I don't know. It gets like pitch black dark at like 6:30. That sucks, but you know, hopefully God willing, we all live to see another fall back or spring forward. Spring forward. Okay, so big news I want to talk about. I'm an avid sports fan. If you guys don't know, this is like your PSA. And college football started over the weekend. So shout out to my team, Michigan, for winning. They beat East Carolina 30-3, which like no one is of like any surprise for that. I mean, I don't even think Eastern Carolina is ranked. But Michigan did beat them. It was a very convincing win, but it didn't really do anything for anybody. Everybody expected that. However, what critics did not expect to happen is what happened with TCU and the Colorado game that took place over the weekend. So Deion Sanders, prime time. I don't know if anybody who watches me cares enough about football to know about Deion Sanders, but he kind of is one of those athletes that kind of transcends. Even if you don't watch sports, you still kind of know who Deion Sanders is, right? He's a 2-time professional sport athlete, which means he played 2 professional sports, obviously the NFL, and then he played in the MLB for a little bit. Just a fantastic athletic, God-given ability that he translated with hard work into becoming. He's definitely Hall of Famer. But anyway, the last couple years, he decided to take his coaching skills and his name, image, and likeness down to Jackson State University, to where he was coaching and being the head coach for an HBCU. And a lot of like drama and controversy came up after like 2 years of being down there. He took a job with a Power 5 school, which is Colorado, the University of Colorado. So like I said, there was a lot of controversy, a lot of people saying he sold out, a lot of people saying like this is why, you know, Black people can't ever get ahead, because the best of what we have in athletes and talent and teaching, they all leave to go to predominantly white institutions or PWIs. I wholeheartedly disagree with that take. I think a lot of stuff happened that became public knowledge long after Deion Sanders left for Colorado, a lot of stuff had happened in terms of the safety of his boys and how he basically got to the campus with nothing. He paid out of his own contract money basically to help the facility, to get the kids new uniforms. When there was like a water crisis down there in Jacksonville, he had his football players staying in hotels so they could shower and have clean running water that he helped pay for because there was no budget. There wasn't any room in the budget during that water crisis when there was no clean water. His office was broken into multiple times. His college football office was broken into multiple times. His son's vehicles were broken into multiple times. Just a lot of stuff was coming to light afterwards that he just felt like he could do a better job. He felt like he had given 2 of his years to Jackson State. He had taken his name, image, and likeness, and he had brought everything he could. He gave up his salary. He gave up to help pay for other coaches because the school didn't have the budget to pay for really valuable coaches and people with real experience, and that people could really coach these guys into success. He paid for a lot of that out of his own budget. And so when he got offered the job at University of Colorado, he took it, and he absolutely should have. But past the controversy, when everybody got done hating on Deion and telling him he sold out and saying that, white people always win because the best of black people always end up going with the white people, a lot of his counterparts were coming out saying that, like, Deion, playing for an HBCU is one thing, coaching for an HBCU is one thing. Actually, getting a roster together to compete against these other Power 5 schools is another whole different other. Basically, a lot of his critics were coming out saying, like, he was gonna fail. This beginning football season, he was gonna fail. He came into the University of Colorado and stood up in front of, like, all of the staff and the players and said that, like, he was cleaning house. He was getting rid of a lot of these players. They might as well hit the transfer portal because he was bringing in people from his school, players from his school who were ready to work. And so all that happened, all that controversy was happening. Everybody was like, what's Deion going to do on this first football game? Like, is he really getting ready to show up and show out? Like, he's been talking all this stuff. Everybody's been talking about him the entire season. Off season. Is he going to show up? And they end up beating TCU. Now, if anybody, like I said, cares about football, they know that TCU was played for the national championship game last year. Now, they should not. Well, they should have played for the national championship game in the sense that, like, they earned their win. Like, Michigan, it's so embarrassing to say, Michigan should have, like, rerouted them. But they didn't. I don't know why. I really don't know why. What happened with that TCU game. I can't really explain it. I don't know if they just got too comfortable. I don't know if they had too much time off. I don't know if TCU just really felt like they had nothing to lose. I don't know. It really makes no sense to me. But TCU earned that win and then got just annihilated in the championship game against Georgia. But the reason why I say, like, TCU shouldn't have been there is just because the only reason why they were there is because the powers that be that decide the college football playoffs, they're trying to keep, people happy. They're trying to keep money rolling in. They're trying to keep viewership and everything like that. And they want to make it seem like they're inclusive and they don't just care about these big name schools that bring in lots of publicity, like the Ohio States and the Alabamas and the Georgias and the Michigans. So they're trying to make it seem like they're inclusive. They're trying to make it seem like, any little school has a chance to really make it to the championship. We're fair. We're trying to be fair. We're trying to let you know that if you guys really do the best during college football season and you really beat some decent schools, we'll give you a chance to get into the college playoffs. It's not real. It's not real. No one cared about TCU. Honestly, they were put in there because everybody expected Michigan to blow them out. Unfortunately, Michigan did not. So in that sense, yes, they absolutely deserve to be there. But like, were they really supposed to be there? No. So it's a big deal. It is a big deal that Deion Sanders came through and beat TCU. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback, had like a monster game. I think he threw for like 500 yards. Travis Hunter, who left Jackson State to go play for Prime. He was the number one prospect coming out of high school in 2021. He was getting offers from all these like not serious schools, but a lot of these more prominent schools, the Ohio States, the Georgias. I think maybe, I want to say Michigan offered him something, but he said no. He was going to take his talents down to Jackson State to play for the HBCU for Deion Sanders. And then when Deion Sanders left for Colorado, Travis Hunter followed him, and he had a monster game. Like, he's already, it's so funny, like on one of his social media accounts, he had like a meme or something that said like Heisman loading or something like that, because he had a monster game. Like, no one expected Deion Sanders to do what they were doing. And especially with the fact that Deion Sanders and his school, like Colorado, was down. They were down in the third quarter. And no one panicked. No one showed any signs of like, oh, you know, we're even lucky to even be competing. Absolutely not. I love what Deion Sanders came on and said in his press conference after the game, where he was like, why do I give a flying flip about people's opinions of me? You guys didn't create me. God created me. God knows what I'm good at. God knows that I'm talented. God knows what he has made me to be. And that's what I'm going to show you guys. He said, I'm not worried at all about anybody's opinion of me. He was like, y'all didn't create me, so y'all can't break me. And I just so appreciate that, because and that's the message that he's teaching his players. It's just like, no, you guys know what you can do, because God gave you what you can do. So you guys already know that what you can do. It's so remarkable. And I saw something else on his, I was just looking up about like what Deion Sanders is doing at the school at Colorado. And like, he doesn't have captains on his team. He has dogs and leaders. So like, instead of the C on like his, on his college players' jerseys, he has the letter the letter D for dogs and the letter L for leaders. And that's how he looks at it. He's like, those are the people who came out to shake the hands of the captain. I just think it's just so inspiring when you see stuff like this, because, like I said, none of Deion Sanders' counterparts thought he even had a blip of a chance to come out against TCU at TCU. They weren't even at home when this happened. Can you imagine what's getting ready to happen at home? All these fans. First of all, it's the first time in 27 years that the University of Colorado has sold out of their college football tickets for the season. For the season, they've sold out. That's just phenomenal. Like, and they did this as their college football as their college football first game. Like, this is what they decided to do. It's just amazing. It's truly amazing, like, what preparation and opportunity can do. And Deion Sanders has been prepping for this his entire life. He has been preparing himself to be this leader for these young men his entire life. And now he gets to do that. He did it for 2 years at Jackson State. He transformed a lot of those kids' lives down at Jackson State. Even though it may not come to fruition, this year, he was able to get a lot of those guys in contact with, like, some elite coaches who can really help them out, who can really help transfer their game, who could potentially get them to the next level to play professional. And now he's transforming these guys over at the University of Colorado. He's putting the University of Colorado on the map. Like, Deion Sanders is just killing it. And I'm so proud, because he has prepared for this. Oprah said luck is when opportunity and preparation meet. And my goodness, truer words couldn't be stated. Like, it really, really couldn't. Deion Sanders is freaking just a phenomenal, his greatness has transcended to coaching and to leading and to being mentors and to being the next stepping stone for a lot of these players, some who may continue on to the NFL, but a lot who don't, who are just going to know who Deion Sanders is and know what he stands for. He's a very Christian man. He tried to commit suicide like a decade ago or something like that. And it did. Thank God it didn't work. But he just, he fell to his knees and he gave his life to God. And he said just like the money and the drugs and the women and everything that, society tells you is like the pinnacle of success, he had reached, and it just was not enough. Shocker. So after he tried to commit suicide and it failed, he gave his life to Christ again and really started living for the Lord. And he said his life just completely did a 180. So that's just like I'm so proud of just like how Deion has responded to controversy, how he has responded to just everything. Like everybody was waiting on him to lose. Everybody was expecting him to lose. Everybody was like, you know what? And if TCU would have won, it would have been like, oh, well, they were in the championship game last year, so they should have won. But no one was expecting this Hall of Fame football player who had just transferred from an HBCU after coaching there for 2 years, and everybody considers like HBCU players like bottom of the barrel. So they're like, oh, like they're not even really playing anybody. Like in the HBCU conference, they're not even really playing anybody. You want to actually like talk about representing and talking about you've got some solid players, play against real schools with real money with real players. So everybody was just like, oh, he's been playing up against HBCU players for the last 2 years. Like that's not really real competition. Okay, well, for everybody who just doubted you, Deion Sanders is getting ready to change the whole game. Now some other like ex-NFL players about to come in and do the exact same thing. Like Deion Sanders is getting ready to lay the foundation and the blueprint and the road for all of these other like NFL players to be like, if Deion can do it, let me get some of my boys together and let's go take over like another Power 5 school. Let's go take over another small school and like put these schools on the map where there are players there who really have the talent, but they just don't have the money that these power schools have that bring in the viewers and the advertisements and the best of the best physical equipment and the best of the best workout equipment and coaches and nutritionists and trainers. Small schools don't have that. They don't have the money for that. But let these ex-NFL players come in and dominate the way Deion Sanders has shown he's able to do. They're about to put these small schools on the map. And then who knows? The game's about to change. The game has changed. The game has changed. Everything we know about college football, it's about to change. Okay. That was just my, 15-minute face. We'll just call it that. I'm looking decent. I can go run some errands. All right, so that's just what I'm talking to you about. College football season started. It was the last weekend without NFL. NFL season's getting ready to start. I don't really have a favorite team. All of my favorite NFL players have all retired. But I am from the Queen City. So Joe Burrow, let's freaking do this. And I don't even like the Bengals. I don't even think the Bengals are that good. Well, they're better, but they weren't even that good 2 years ago. So let's freaking go Cincinnati. And hell yeah, here's to what a great way to kick off the football season. So I'm so happy for Deion, and I'm happy for the boys that get to be taught underneath his tutelage and his mentorship. It's fantastic. It's great. But I will see you guys later. Okay, bye.